The last few days have been shocking and incredibly challenging for our community. People are scared.
That was the mayor of Davis this morning speaking about several stabbings that have rocked the quiet college town. 3 people have been stabbed over the course of 5 days in Davis, and 2 of them, a UC Davis student and a beloved homeless man, were killed. And now several agencies, including the FBI, they are all investigating. And you can see where those stabbings happened on this map right here. If we get it up in just a second, there we go. The 2 deadly stabbings that happened last week were at 2 different parks in the city. And just last night, a woman was stabbed through her tent in downtown Davis. And we do have team coverage tonight. We are starting off with our Becca Habegger with some updates. Good evening, Becca.
Yeah, Alex, I just seconds ago, I was talking with the neighbor who was out here walking his dog. I'm here at Sycamore Park, the site of the second stabbing. This neighbor said he walks here every night with his dog. He was at this park just an hour before that second stabbing happened on Saturday night. This is an investigation that involves multiple law enforcement agencies and 3 different crime scenes. Neighbors are asking, and people all over the city are asking, look, we have 3 stabbings over the course of 5 days. There are a lot of similarities between the stabbings. Can we call this a serial killing yet? Who do we know? Is it just one person who committed these crimes? I talked with the mayor of Davis and the police chief, all while there are many questions yet unanswered.
We spoke one-on-one with Davis Mayor Will Arnold. He's the father of 3 young kids, and we asked him how he's talking about this with his children.
I'm very honest with my kids. I talk to them about what's going on because the other kids at school are talking about it too. And I wanted to make sure they heard it from me. While we're being extra vigilant now, I'm fully confident that we're going to catch the people or person responsible for this. And I don't plan to change my approach to our shared public spaces one bit.
Last Thursday morning, police found a 50-year-old unhoused man brutally stabbed to death in Davis's Central Park. Police believe he was killed overnight on a bench where he would normally sit and sleep. There are no witnesses so far in this killing. On Saturday night, police found another victim of a deadly and brutal stabbing, this time in Sycamore Park, and the victim, a 20-year-old UC Davis student. On Monday night, police responded to a report of an unhoused woman in her 60s who was stabbed in her tent. Police say she is fighting for her life in critical but stable condition at UC Davis Medical Center in Sacramento. Davis Police Chief Darren Bytel says there are similarities between the stabbings, but he's not ready to call this the work of a serial killer.
The suspect descriptions for the second homicide and the incident last night are substantially similar, but we cannot yet rule out that we're not dealing with 3 separate crimes.
He says investigators have gone door to door around the 3 crime scenes, asking neighbors and businesses for any security video they might have to identify the suspect. Police don't have city surveillance video. Witnesses in the second and third stabbings gave a description.
We are looking for a light-complected male with curly hair, about 5'6" to 5'9" tall with a thin or slender build. He was last seen a dark-colored sweatshirt with black Adidas-style pants with a white stripe on the side, black shoes, and wearing a brown backpack.
Community members have submitted hundreds of tips in the last few days. Surrounding police departments and sheriff's offices are helping with the investigation, as well as the FBI. And the Department of Justice is assisting in processing physical evidence, including a search for DNA evidence.
The mayor, a Davis native himself, calls this an identity crisis for this quiet college town. He says as far as he can recall, the last homicide in this city was back in 2019. Alex?
All right, Becca, thank you so much. And I want to hear from you because these stabbings have a lot of people feeling unsafe. Are you doing anything that's unique to keep you and your family safe? You can always scan that QR code or send us a text at 916-321-3310 and let me know. All right, let's go ahead and get out now to Luke Cleary. He is at Davis City Hall, where City Council is meeting. Luke, these stabbings, they are the only item on the agenda tonight, right?
That's exactly right, Alex, and the City Council meeting is just about getting underway now. We've spent the last couple of days speaking with longtime Davis residents, visitors, and UC Davis students, and one of the things that people have told us that is just so striking about this is how seemingly random it all is. The city manager and the mayor asked the City Council to throw out their agenda, and they're going to focus entirely on these 3 stabbing incidents. We are also going to hear an update from the police chief here tonight. Meanwhile, with the news that one of the victims was a UC Davis student, campus is on edge, administrators moving evening classes online. We've been speaking with people near Central Park.
Trying to stay indoors as much as possible, stay around the people you love, and just making sure that everyone's around you is okay. We all share locations now. It's very different.
You know, we don't know if it's a serial killer. We don't know if it's a bunch of people. He's not targeting any specific population, I think, so which is kind of concerning too, because that means nobody's safe.
The University Police Department has expanded its Safe Rides program. They're now offering that 7 days a week, 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. So that's one way that people can get around safely right now if they're moving about after dark. But a lot of people are telling us that they plan on playing it safe until this is resolved. We'll head inside now where, as you know, just one agenda item. They're going to be talking about these stabbing incidents. And we'll bring you an update tonight at 11 on Late News Tonight. Alex.
All right, Luke, thank you so much. And we have more about the backbone of the Davis community, UC Davis, where tens of thousands of students go to school every day. Devin Truby spent the day on campus to get a sense of how students and faculty are feeling in this moment and what police are doing to keep everyone safe.
People are generally scared. They're concerned. We're trying to understand what is going on in the city of Davis.
Students and staff at UC Davis are on edge as police continue to search for a killer in their community.
We are providing them really all-day transportation to and from residents anywhere on campus. It's called our Safe Rides program. So those vans are running about 16 hours a day, and we're literally taking hundreds upon hundreds, if not thousands.
The Associated Students of UC Davis sent a letter to the administration urging them to provide online courses until a suspect is caught. Eric Murray says one of his classes has already been moved online, and he says his new personal rule is not to be out after 10 p.m.
It's definitely very concerning, right? Especially for those of us that have class late at night or some kind of practice or club meeting that they want to go to. At night, it's definitely, going out at night's no longer really an option.
Looking over my shoulder a little bit more, which I'm not sure if that's something that was necessarily my male counterparts were doing.
Students are on alert and concerned. Families are calling to check on their students.
My mom called me this morning when I was on my way to class. My sisters have been checking in and a couple of my cousins.
But for international students, news of the murders hasn't made it home yet. UC Davis has around 6,000 international students. Zhao Tong, who's from China, says she hasn't told her family yet because she doesn't want them to worry.
I'm planning to go back to China to stay with my family this summer, so I think I'm looking forward to it, and since there's a hope, I'm good at this moment.
We have walls up here that prevent that from coming on campus? No, and we do know we have students here that may be traumatized by that. They're very concerned, and we really want to deal with that. We are building a really good response team using our fire department with paramedics, social workers that can respond. We're trying to do everything we possibly can, knowing that we have young adults coming onto campus experiencing tragedies like this for the very first time in their life.
Okay, coming up, we are hearing the dispatch call that led first responders to that third stabbing victim in Davis.
Continuing to track active weather for tonight. As you can see, this line of storms, what's ahead for tonight and through the rest of the week.
And still to come, how a Vacaville school is increasing security to keep education the main focus as the number of mass shootings rise. Downpours, hail, and thunderstorms hitting our region today. These photos were taken by our weather producer, Brody Adams, out in Citrus Heights. Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods joining us now. I don't know how to dress. It was like 80 something, and then now I need like my rain boots. I don't know what I'm doing out here.
It's a total whiplash from 90s into 60s, and now the active weather that we're continuing to track. Flood advisory in effect until 8:15. That will include parts of the Sacramento Valley as well as parts of Placer County, as you can see over towards Roseville. So minor flooding ponding on roads. Watch out for some of that heading out for this evening. You can see the line of storms now moving its way northward here. Still have some pressing along the coast. This is all around a very active weather pattern that we were tracking earlier today. Still some isolated storms that are producing some heavy downpours towards Colusa and Yuba City. As we head into the San Joaquin Valley, just off to the east of Stockton and Lodi, have this band of rain that has some isolated heavier rain. And as far as the snow, yes, it's still falling in pockets throughout the Sierra as we make our way through this evening. With that winter weather advisory in place until 11 o'clock, we'll still see additional accumulation on the lighter side than what we saw earlier today. But certainly as this low pressure system spirals its way along the coast and is just wanting to stay there, we'll have some weather to contend with through the rest of this week. About 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch of rain. In some areas, we got up to about 1/2 an inch of rain and about 2 to 7 inches of snow for this spring storm. Our highs today in the 60s down low, 30s up top for the Sierra. Here goes that low down the coast, and it's continuing to make its way all the way through Southern California before it finally moves off to the east later this week. But that is going to keep showers in the Sierra pretty much into the weekend. For the valley, we'll see highs warming into the 70s by the weekend. Another chance for showers, though, on Thursday.
There are more school shootings happening every year. And one school in Vacaville, they're actually taking matters into their own hands to keep students safe. And this school is relying on a lot of cameras to be its extra set of eyes on every inch of the campus. So Jeannie Nguyen took a visit to the school. Jeannie, what else are they doing to ensure that safety for everyone on campus?
Alex, Cairo's public school prides itself on using state-of-the-art technology to teach their students, but they're also taking that mindset to up their security and prevent a tragedy.
It's Music Day. In Maravik Allender's first grade class at Cairo's public school in Vacaville. But behind the smile of these 6-year-olds, there's a big responsibility.
I'm there to not only teach them, but also to protect them, because when their parents leave them with me, you know, they're trusting that I'm going to take care of them.
Taking care of these 25 students has recently become one of the main focuses of Allender's job.
I feel like the last year we've had so much training regarding when there's threats on campus, intruders coming onto campus. I didn't have as many before, but I feel like just the last year, just being at this school, I feel like we've had so many of them because of all the recent shootings that has been happening.
What goes through your mind emotionally when you see the news of all these school shootings and then you have to do trainings in response?
I'm saddened by the fact that all these kids are getting hurt. I mean, I'm all for all the trainings that we are receiving at our school, because I feel like we can't just rely on outside support anymore, that we have to be proactive.
When Uvalde happened in Texas, it was shocking for everybody. I mean, it was shocking on so many different levels. The mission of Kairos and our mission statement talks about utilizing technology thoughtfully. And so we thought, when someone comes to our front door, we don't answer the door unless we know who's on the other side. And we teach our kids that. So we have a little screen and they push the doorbell and the face pops up and you see it's the Amazon driver or a UPS driver, whoever it may be. And we thought, how can we take that same concept into the school environment? We bought about 30 Ring cameras and we bought 30 Echo video devices. We partnered with our Parent Advisory Council, who is our parent body, and they actually fundraised for this. It was fairly inexpensive. It was about $5,000 that the parent organization or parent foundation paid for.
Did you ever feel like you would be running a school but thinking about all these security measures, like adding security cameras, but also training your staff to physically defend themselves and their students?
No. When we started this school, our mission was to equip kids for a changing generation, and we looked at it the academic side. And no one ever thought that a huge focus would have to be on the safety and support of students.
Within a week after the deadly shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, Ring cameras were immediately installed here at Kairos. According to the K-12 school shooting database, there were 303 school shootings in 2022 in the United States. And so far this year, more than 120 school shootings. And with the majority of these shootings taking place within the parking lot, Kairos is taking no chances by requiring all visitors to check in with the front desk through a security camera buzzing system.
Hi, welcome to Kairos. Are you here to pick up a student?
With statistics like these, it has students like Madison Chapman thinking, what if?
We're always just talking about like what we would do if that were to happen here. Like, where would we go? What would we put things in front of the door? Would we take our backpacks with us? Would we just really like how to cope with it? Be quiet, lights out, don't go under the desk.
How does it make you feel to talk about those things and to talk about the tragedies that are happening?
It's nerve-wracking, and it definitely does hit me in a soft spot. It's just a big thing that's happening, and just like I said, I didn't really think I'd have to talk about this. It's horrible.
I think every parent has those fears because you hear so much in the news about what's going on in the country or around the world, and your kids are the biggest thing in your life.
What is it like for you as a parent to see all the measures that your child's school is taking to make sure that your children are safe while they're learning?
Seeing these improvements every year, I think we felt more and more safe. And as these incidents continue to happen in our country, seeing how the school quickly responds and works with parents and gets feedback to implement new things, honestly, it makes me proud to say that my kids go here, because I see them responding quickly and implementing change quickly, and it gives me that peace of mind that like they're thinking about my kids' safety. That's a really big deal.
At the end of the day, we are feeling like the campus is safer, and we may never know how much of an impact it made, but what we do know is that our kids are actually able to focus on the learning, and that those distractions are being lessened because of the things that we've done.
And Jeannie, it's clear, I mean, this school is doing everything they can to make sure that these kids and these teachers are very safe. But if there is something active going on, what can the teachers do at that point?
So every staff member has this tool on their phone called the emergency communication tool. So if there's any threat or anything on campus, every staff member can, with a push of the button on their phone, alert other staff members as well as law enforcement. And they also have a GPS tracking system. So let's say in the event they need to track somebody down, they can just look on their phones and be able to find whoever they need to find on campus.
And the school that you feature, I mean, that school is over 70 years old, but they're building a whole new state-of-the-art school building with some really new technology, right?
Yeah, technology is very important to this school and their mission statement. So with this new school, it's going to be state-of-the-art. So bulletproof windows, facial recognition technology, as well as license plate recognition technology. And on top of that, you can't get into the campus unless you have a key card access. And of course, because this whole story is about cameras, of course, they will also have cameras on campus as well.
All right, Jeannie, thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right, after the break, more on the 3 stabbings in Davis in just 5 days. For the first time, we're hearing what led up to those moments when police arrived on scene just last night.
There should be an encampment in the area. There's a female that was punched by an unknown male subject. We do have PD responding there, not on scene at your discretion if you want to enter. Just a heads up, we're not getting information that somebody is possibly stabbed. One description we have on suspect is curly hair, blue shirt, jeans, and a black backpack. Just as a heads up.
Okay, so those were just some of the moments that led up to police discovering another person stabbed in Davis overnight. The third stabbing in just 5 days. And this is a live look at Davis City Hall, where the city council is meeting to discuss the recent string of stabbings. And if you're just now joining us, 2 of those stabbings, they were unfortunately deadly. We will have the latest on the investigation and what city council plans to do on Late News tonight at 11. And I want to know if you're doing anything unique to keep you and your family safe. All you have to do is scan that QR code on the bottom of your screen, or you can always text us at 916-321-3310. Before we go, though, I want to show you what we're working on for tomorrow, because all month long we are celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and there is a Japanese family in our region that has been making wine in the industry for more than 120 years. That's 3 generations, and they lost it all after spending time in a Japanese internment camp, but they managed to survive and acquire the land where it all started for them. So catch this story of resilience and, of course, family tradition tomorrow right here at 6:30 on To The Point. And you already know, we always want to know what's going on in your community. I've got Instagram, Facebook, or you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com. Again, stay tuned at ABC 10 for updates on that Davis stabbing. We'll have more coming up tonight on Late News tonight at 11. Have a great night. We'll see you later. Hey, it's Alex. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really love hearing from everyone, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. Reach out to me on Facebook at AlexBellTV, or you can email me at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send me a text message at 916-321-3310.